after a Daytona race that was marred with questions and possible outcomes that pretty much went out the window as soon as a giant wreck collected half the field, we finally know who for sure will be in the playoffs and competing for a championship this year. And honestly, it's usually pretty easy for me to predict, or for anyone to really predict who's going out in the first round. We generally always have some drivers that are in there that are just easy outs. But, I had a lot of difficulty deciding on who I think will be knocked out first here. We just had a regular season where 16 different winners came through. I mean, to me, that makes this one of the most competitive, not one of the most, it is the most competitive playoff field in the playoff era. There's nobody in these playoffs that's an easy out. There's nobody that didn't rightfully deserve to be here, and I don't think there's anybody that should be very heavily favored. Yes, Chase Elliott is the favorite, but honestly, I could see 10 of these guys going on and having just as much chance to be the champion as him. And I think that this is just going to be a really entertaining and a near unpredictable postseason. But I know that it's really hard for anyone to predict these things, but I mean, what kind of NASCAR content creator would I be if I didn't at least attempt a guess? And so these are going to be my first 4 cuts of the first round. And these aren't in any particular order, but I guess I'll just go with who has the lowest seeding and go up. Starting off, I think that Austin Cindric's impressive rookie season comes to a close in the first round. He's got a lot of great years ahead of him, and I really debated having him a first round exit, but that's just truly how competitive this field is. He's a guy I could see running 10th to 20th the next 3 races, and maybe even squeezing in the top 10 at one of those, but I don't think that'll be enough to make it to the next round with this field. I also just don't see him pulling off a wild win at one of these 3. If the Roval was in this round, I would probably have been pressured to put him over there, but it's not. I just don't see it happening. Next elimination I've got is Daniel Suarez, who had a really cool story earlier this year with Sonoma, has really had a career rejuvenation with Trackhouse. But since Sonoma, he really hasn't been on the radar anywhere. He's got a top 10 at Darlington last time we were here, but Kansas and Bristol aren't his strongest tracks, and I just don't feel confident that he is going to get it done compared to the other drivers, even some of the ones that I have coming up. I could see him being, the 16th driver in this first round of cuts. Next up is Chase Briscoe, who has really disappointed me this year. I thought we were going to see a major leap out of him after his first win, but it really never came. He's been uber inconsistent all year and ran horrible at Darlington and Kansas when we were here last. I just don't think that 14 team has the consistency that it's going to take in this playoff field to make it to the next round. But he's definitely somebody that could just randomly pull off a really good finish and maybe contend for a win at one of these. But I'm not going to run to the betting stand on it. This is the one that I'm the most nervous about. I feel like I'm reaching, but William Byron has had the most confusing year so far with 2 wins and seemingly nothing else the whole year. And, I really started thinking about it today. His 2 wins came, one in Atlanta, that's essentially just a super speedway wildcard race at this point, and at Martinsville, where nobody was able to pass. He essentially qualified. I don't know if he qualified on the pole, but he definitely qualified up towards the front, got to the lead early, and just nobody could get around him at that point. So I'm sitting here wondering if really Byron is as good as his stats and his win total are even making us think. He might not even be having that great of a year to begin with, now that I really think about it. And maybe he'll make me eat crow on that. And, I debated putting Dillon and Bowman here, but I think Bowman will end up sneaking through by having a little more consistent runs than Byron. And Dillon, he runs well at all 3 tracks we have coming up. I know a lot of people, he's going to be on most people's first round cuts, but I've got him making it to the next round. And I might end up eating crow with Byron, like I said, but 13th at Darlington, 16th at Kansas in the season, and an underwhelming Bristol record. I think that he's got to wait another year for that breakout season that we continue to wait for from him. But what do you guys think? Who do you think makes it to the round of 8? Tell me what you think in the comments, and please like and subscribe. I hope you guys have a great day.